Hello and welcome, everyone.
Hi and welcome back.
Yeah, episode 9. Dude, last week I didn't tell you I was editing. Let me take these off. Yes, last week I was editing and I cut it out, but we had said, hello and welcome, episode 7, and it was episode 8. We're always a week behind, dude.
Is it episode 9 today?
I think, yes, it is 9.
Should I make sure?
No, it is 9. I'm sure.
Welcome to episode 9.
Welcome to episode 9. So today, we're having some chilled vibes. The first time we're filming at night.
Yes, we're filming at nighttime right now.
It's a different vibe. But
We've already had
cool.
a full day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys have come across this. I'm sure if you're into like social experiments, you've definitely seen this.
If you watch any of those YouTube channels, like I think it's called Vice, and then those ones that do like they do all these videos like Christians versus Common Ground. Yeah, those videos.
Then
if
you
watch
might have
that,
seen
then
this.
I'm sure you know. Yeah.
Or you know about it. It's 36 questions that two strangers can ask each other to fall in love, or more accurately, develop closer feelings. But you don't have to do it as strangers exclusively, and it's actually a very nice exercise. We did it in our degrees in the first year to just get to know each other better and like feel more comfortable and stuff. Not us specifically.
Not just to get to know each other. Can I tell the whole story?
Yeah.
It was so cool because we did it. Obviously, we're in first year. We don't know anyone, but we're going to spend the next 3 or more years together with these people. So our lecturers were like finding ways of getting us to like be a close-knit group, right? So this was literally the first thing that we did in acting class. So they like literally paired us up in random pairs, and then we did the 36 questions, and then by the end of the week, when you've worked through all the questions with your partner, then you have to act as them. You write like a little monologue and then you act as each other. So I think that was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool because it made sure that you listened and used those parts.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought, some of you know us personally, but not all of you do. Or even if you do, you haven't seen us in a very long time and you don't really know who we are anymore.
Right.
So we thought answering some of these questions, definitely not all 36 because it can take a while.
It's going to take hours.
Yeah, so to answer some of these questions, and then maybe our viewers can get to know us better. And also, if you feel inclined to answer any question, please comment. Please send us a message, whatever you feel the need to do. It'll also be cool to get to know you guys a bit better.
It's also going to be interesting doing this again, like 4 years later.
Seeing how it changes.
Because I'm sure we're going to remember like some of the answers that we gave at first, and I'll be like, whoa.
We're different people, yeah.
Yeah. I think we're just going to read through some of them, and the ones that speak to us we'll go
include.
for. Yeah.
Okay, so there are some rules. There's like 5 rules, but I'm not going to read those. Like, if you're interested in doing the full set of questions with someone for real, then read the rules.
We don't care about the rules.
Yeah, we're just going to ask each other questions.
Cool.
I'm just going to start with this icebreaker. Before you make a telephone call, do you rehearse what you say and why?
All the time. And why? Well, anxiety, dude. Like, how am I supposed to know what to say?
I rehearse what I say before most telephone calls. Well, not to friends. Like, I won't rehearse what I'm going to say to you or to, like, Marius.
No, sometimes I do.
I guess it depends what the topic is.
It depends if it's, like, when I do it a lot, if it's something that happened, something funny that happened, like, whatever, then I'm like, I need to remember every detail of the story, then I, like, work through it, and then I'm like, okay, but what's the best way of telling it so it's funny? Because sometimes I tell people something, and I think it's so funny, and they're like,
No, but also, I think that's just our humor, because, like, you tell me stuff, and I think it's so funny, and then Marius doesn't think it's funny.
They're like, what the fuck? I think it's a Taurus-Scorpio thing, because Zuri and I talk about this a lot, like, her and I will laugh at stupid random things, and everyone's like,
what are you talking about? Yeah, that happens so many times. Like, or I will tell a story to Marius and he will be like, okay. And then I tell you and you're like, that's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, this is the reaction I wanted.
Exactly, dude. So, yeah, I actually have a story that I was practicing. This is what I wanted to tell you earlier and I forgot. Okay, side notes. But when I went to I went to the pharmacy this week to get those eye drops. So now my name is always an issue.
Alright,
when I have
got many
names, especially at the pharmacy, because now, and at Discam especially, because now the one lady made my profile Nicole Somoza. Then another lady made my profile Nicole Medina. Then another lady made it Oriana Somoza.
Because I thought you were different people.
So
she has 2 names and 2 surnames, and sometimes people pair them together or pair them together wrong ways or make it a combination of 3 of those.
It's fucked. So now I go to the pharmacy, and the lady goes, "Your surname?" I'm like,
Which one?
Somoza, Somoza. She goes, Son. I'm like, no, M. Now we're wearing masks.
So you can't hear each other, and there's that weird screen.
Yes. So I'm like, N. She's like, M. N. Oh, okay, M. Somoza. Then she's like, you're not coming up. And I'm like, okay, I have a second surname. Maybe that one will come up. So then she goes, what is it? Then I go, Medina. Medina. And by the N again, she goes, M. I'm like, no, N. She goes, M. I'm like, N for nice. She goes, M for mice. No, baby. Like of all the, this is why I must rehearse things.
Yeah.
Of all the words.
N for mice.
N for nice. N for mice.
I'm so sorry.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah.
Yeah, that is why you must rehearse things. That's what I'll say. Like, if I'm gonna go and like get something specific, I don't know if it's like a business or like a straight, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
Like this one thing. I have a goal with this thing.
Right.
Then I'll like rehearse what the goal is. So like if I go to a pharmacy or something, then yeah. Or if I call a pharmacy, or if I like call a delivery service for food. Yesterday I phoned and ordered us food.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I need to order one of this in this way.
Make
so
a
that
list.
so that I can have it. It's like a rehearsed list.
No, definitely. I think it's, and also just an anxiety thing.
I think it's definitely an anxiety thing.
Big anxiety thing. Okay, my question is, I love this one. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be?
Okay. It's a supernatural one.
That's fine.
This is something that I always wanted. Like I always thought about it since I was like, the first time I remember actively thinking about it was like I was grade 4. I don't know, I'm being dramatic.
Yeah.
Grade 4. Then I was thinking, my brother came to me with like some question about like, you could be a superhero, would you rather fly or be invisible? And then I was thinking about like, what's the coolest superpower that I think? And it's this. Being able to stop time for only yourself.
That's
so you
a big
pause
one.
everyone but yourself. And you can move and do stuff, but only for an hour a day.
Okay.
So if you use your hour for the day, finish. Because then I feel like if it's unlimited, it's you like too powerful. Like now you can start doing weird things.
Yeah.
You can be in Paris and then be in no. You can only stop it for an hour a day. And if you like develop the ability, you can do it when you touch other people's hands, pause it for them also. But you can't do fucked up things. Like you can't, I don't know, rob a bank and fly away. I guess you can, but like, I don't know, there must be limits to it.
There must be limits to it. Dude, maybe this is a mental illness thing because, can I tell you when mental illness in it. Whenever people ask, like, what superpower would you want, I always say that. Well, I don't say that anymore, but I always used to say, like, I would love to just pause time. And I think it's a thing of, like, perfectionism and wanting to do everything at once. Because that's the way I would think about it. Like, especially in school, because we always ask these questions in school for some reason. What superpower do you want? Then I would be like, I just want to stop time. I want to finish all my homework. And then I want to write 5 poems and paint 3 paintings and then come back and it's the school day and then I can, like...
I think for me it's like an overwhelmed thing. Like, if I'm super overwhelmed in a moment, I can just stop everything.
Stop the world.
I can just stop everything and just take a breath.
No, for me it was I have too many tasks to do, too many things at the same time and I need to get them all done. Also, being in 2 places at once. That was always my thing. Like, I want to do that.
But I did for a while want to be able to be other people. So be able to jump my consciousness into you. But I don't have your consciousness.
No, yeah, it's you, just in a different
body.
It's a Freaky Friday situation.
But be able to control it. But also, I did have the perfectionist thing, just not in the way that you did. Like I used to say, I think sleep is a waste of time. because in the time that I'm sleeping, I could be
Yeah.
doing other things. And then I developed insomnia and realized why sleep is very important
Very much important.
and why I wouldn't want to not be able to sleep.
Yeah, no, dude, I also used to say that, like, sleep is so useless and eating is so useless. Like,
You're eating because it takes time.
yeah.
And to decide what you want and then to make the thing.
Yeah.
And then
it's
it
like,
must happen like 3 times a day.
no ways. Like, now I appreciate those things so much.
Yeah, because like food is like a love language.
It is like a from the Taurus. You're like, I hate the stereotypes of
Yeah.
Tauruses.
No, but I do. No, I hate the one that we're always sleeping because I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
But like food I get. But it's not like I'm always eating. It's just like I appreciate food very much.
Right.
So like I think about places through food. Like I think if I'm like traveling to Amsterdam, I need to find like a cafe with like. But okay, hang on. This is the thing that like scares me about it because I'm a person who gets very fixated on food. So like if I find whatever a meal that I really like, I will eat the same meal for weeks. And if I
Yeah.
can, like chiapas, I ate for months, and I still, when I go that side, I'm like, I need chiapas.
Yes. That's
But
a
I'm-
problem.
Yeah, I'm so scared that like, imagine I go to Amsterdam in December, I find the perfect cafe with the perfect whatever, and now I come back and that's all I want to eat, and I
it's
don't
not
want anything
here.
else.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, I get so fixated on that food that like every other food is disgusting to me. I cannot eat it.
Yeah.
So like now if I get like fixated on my croissant or something, can have it.
Or like the OG strip waffles.
A strip.
Then it's finished, dude. It's over. What must happen?
I will be here crying.
No, it is a problem. I remember when I had during COVID, I almost had like a personal trainer that would speak to me on the phone and stuff. And I would log it was very intense. So yeah, elite. I would log all my food and like weigh everything. I was like very intense about it. It was just before my wedding.
No, that's so crazy. I've never done that.
Dude, it was so cool. It was such a cool experience. And I learned, because she's a nutritionist. Like,
Oh, you learned a lot about nutrition.
I learned so much about nutrition with her. And that would happen, obviously. Like, I found something that was, like, good with macros. Like, it had the perfect amount of protein, carbs, and fats. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I would chow that thing. Like,
That was
let's
the only
say,
meal.
I don't know, it's like a special peanut butter sandwich. Then I would eat that for a week. And she's like, let's try to incorporate a variety of foods. And I'm like, I cannot, Kristen. I love peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, it's perfect for me, so I eat it. Dude, it's such a problem.
Yeah.
That happens to me so much. Like, with that willy salad.
I wonder, do you think it's like an evolutionary thing, though?
No.
I'm like trying to make it deep.
I think it's like an anxiety thing or something where like your body knows that food is like comforting and perfect and you don't need to stress about it being different or
Mental illness.
It's
isn't it?
mental illness. I don't think it's evolutionary. I don't think we're smart or clever for that trait. It literally prohibits us from living life.
No, it could be evolutionary though.
I don't
Because imagine
think so.
you're like a hunter-gatherer and you're or a nomad or whatever, and you're traveling, and now you enter.
We did not just bring us together into this conversation. Okay.
We have become the alpha male podcast now. Hunter-gatherer.
We are hunter-gatherers. Okay, babe.
Imagine
What?
now you come into you move because now it's winter, so you're moving into a warmer climate, and then you only have kudus to eat, dude. So you chow the kudus for 5 weeks until you move again.
Yeah, but girlie, do you know how many different foods they made with one kudu? It wasn't one taste.
I'm not sure about that. If anyone is informed on the hunter-gatherer system,
Should we phone Marius?
no.
Please explain. We will sit here for 2 hours.
2
with Marius
hours.
explaining to us. Okay, the hunters used to do that.
Next question.
No, girlie.
We're talking too much.
If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're living right now and why?
Like, do I know the day or just in a year?
The day is exactly a year from now. Precisely a year from today, you will be dead. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm caught between like just carry on living my life or just literally dropping everything and fucking off. And
I don't think I could carry on living my life. I don't think I could.
because it's useless. But Mm.
I don't think I could like wake up in the morning and do everything the same and know that like I only have this many days left and here I am in the kitchen making the same oats I've had for 2 weeks. I don't know if I could do that.
Right. But the thing is, like, okay, now okay, we're not established in our careers, right? We don't have lifelong wealth at the moment. So, like, yes, I can quit my job and like do whatever I want, but then at the same time, I only have it now. I'm 6 months down the line. I still only have 200 rand in my bank account. Like,
yeah, but now think
what am I
about
gonna
it.
do?
No, but think about it. You only have 1 year left to live. You can sell everything you own and go somewhere.
Right.
If I sell everything that I've accumulated, like I'm not wealthy, but if I sell everything I have, like I can make a pretty penny.
A pretty penny.
No, I could make enough money to like at least fly somewhere. Like I could fly to Hawaii, chill in some fucking beach hut for the year and have the time of my life.
Yeah, I guess. This is my other thing.
Go get a waitressing job there and like live.
Yeah. This is my other thing, because like now I'm like, I don't usually like traveling, but
Would you travel?
What else would you do?
Well, you don't have to travel. You can be in your house and be comfortable, but I feel like I would
hate to be in my house knowing that I'm gonna die in 3 weeks.
But I would be obsessing over spending time with people and making memories with them. Like I know that. The people that I like, love, and care about, I would literally be obsessing over it. Because even if I believe that I will, whatever, be reincarnated or live in some DMT realm or whatever, I'm never going to have the same perspective that I have now. So I'm always going to be looking at it from a different way.
Right.
So like only now in this form can I experience time with the people that I love in the way that I can.
Yeah, I also think, like, I'm usually a very, like, I need my space kind of person. But I do agree with that.
I would be like...
I feel like I wouldn't want to spend a day alone then.
No, I would be like having brunch with my friends, coffee with my friends, going hiking with them in the mountains, like doing crazy stuff. That
I think that's
the stuff that I would now say, like, I won't, like... I've always wanted a lot of tattoos, but I'm like kind of scared of getting a lot of tattoos. So I've made this deal with myself that if I'm 27, I can get tattoos. Like all the tattoos I want. Every idea I have. But like if I'm dying in a year, I'm getting tattooed.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly. All the things that you have been like pushing away for whatever reason.
But it's interesting to think about it like...
Yeah, I don't think I would want to be those people that are like, I'm just going to pack up and go travel the world, because what the fuck?
Like, but I definitely would want to travel for a part of it at least, or like go somewhere.
Yeah, if I can, I would love to, but to travel to visit my family, I think. Because I don't see them. Like the cousins that like I love and I haven't seen in years, I would want to see them.
Well, I would really want to see my cousin also.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be like... But that's the thing. Like the end part of this question is why, and it's because it's gonna make you think about like, if I'm gonna do those things, if I know for a fact I'm gonna die in a year, then why wouldn't I do them when there's still a chance that I might die tomorrow?
Yeah, you don't know exactly. So why aren't you living your life in that way right now?
But like, it's just difficult to see, isn't it? Like, being a human, like, it's just difficult to see. It's just difficult to make the decision that like, okay, cool, I'm going to do it now. But like, if I live for 5 more years, I'm going to regret it because I'm going to say, oh, I should have really waited until I'm 27. Because it's not like I regret anything in my life. Sorry.
I'm so uncomfortable.
No, it's all right. Make yourself comfy.
Okay, yes.
It's not like I regret anything in my life, but there are definitely things that I think, like, I'm very calculated when I do things.
Yeah. The thing is, you get stuck in routines.
True, but I also am calculated in the sense that I say, okay, at 18 I'm going to do this. At 21 I'm going to do this.
Like your 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
And it's weird things. Like it's not big things in my life, it's little things. But it's those things that like I look back and I'm like, I'm so happy that I waited until I was right to do it. Because if I had done it earlier, I think I would have not regretted, but like not liked the experience of it as much.
Yeah, the proper experience.
But like, I thank God I waited. So like... I don't want to rush myself to do these things because I'm like, well, I could die tomorrow.
Dude, that's crazy that you do that, because I think all my decisions are like, I want to do it now. yesterday. I want to
Yeah,
do it.
you're very...
I'm never someone that will like be like, okay, no, in 5 years I'll start that or I'll think of doing that. No ways.
No, I'm very much like that. And also, there are things that I do very spontaneously, but they're more like decisions that are permanent experiences. Like once you've had that experience, you can't go back, in my mind. Those are the things that I plan. Other things I don't. So like getting a belly ring, I literally decided I'm going to get it now, and I got it in 10 minutes, and I've never once regretted it. I literally can't imagine my body without it. I love it. But, and like doing like random stuff, like I'm gonna go to drive to a friend right now, like stuff like that. I'm very spontaneous about, but stuff that impacts my life or stuff that I think is gonna have a fundamental change in my mindset, I plan.
I don't know why this is like reminding me of this thing. I don't know where I read it or saw it or what, but there's like a saying or whatever that's like in Western the West is like trying to convince you that you need a purpose, like this life. You need to make a purpose for yourself in this life. But actually, the purpose of life is just to live.
Yo, I truly believe that.
Yo, dude. And that's so true. Because why do we have to try rationalize everything and like make everything a thing and like categorize things and all of this stuff?
I believe, like, I don't want to say I don't believe in a purpose, but I don't believe you can manipulate it. Like, I don't believe it's your choice to work towards it or whatever. I believe like it's a karmic thing. Like a cosmic thing that was decided long before you were here, if decided, by yourself, like by your spirit in the astral realm.
Soul contracts, dude.
Yeah, like that. And then you came here and now you have no control over it, whether you know what it is or think you know what it is or think it's something, you can't control it. So like, I don't think there's a purpose in that way, but I think the fundamental purpose of being here is experiencing life as a human.
Yeah.
And making the most of it. And like, to me, that's doing crazy things. But I don't think... Because I think that's the ultimate human experience you have to.
No, yeah, exactly.
I just have to do what I think. If I think about like a human life, what would be like the coolest thing that human could achieve and like do? That's like...
Yeah, dude. The just the thought of like our purpose is just to live, right? That has been like such a like prominent thoughts in my mind like lately, especially because a lot of the things that like, and we've spoken about this before, right? I think in the first episode when I said that like I always try to put myself in like try to identify what are the things I like, what are my pet peeves, what you know, all of where
you try to categorize yourself.
Yeah, I try to classify myself into boxes so that I know who I am. So when people ask me, I'm like, I'm
this person. Yeah.
But then things that I've already formed, like opinions of what who I think I am and the things I think I believe. Like I always used to say I hate formalities and I hate things like that. But then I love like fucking Bridgerton and I'm like, I wish I could live in that society. Then I think about it and I'm like,
I actually like formalities.
But this is all the formalities that I've been saying I hate, but I actually love them, you know? So I've just been like, yeah, and that's a human experience, right? Like it's just something we can enjoy.
That's exactly what I said. Also, two things I want to bring up. First episode, like that's exactly what I said when I was like, my motto is just to experience things, like just experience everything that you can. And I will think about it so much, like in my decision making and stuff. Like Morris wants to go to Daisy's this year, and like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh, what a mission to like go to like this weird like small little town and stay in a tent and but then I'm like, what an experience as a human, like what a cool experience should that be to like connect with other humans in that way. And I'm like, yeah, I have to do it. Like, that's an experience I can't leave. Period. I want to say
story. Yes?
Something that I recently remembered. This is another thing.
I recently remembered.
When people ask me questions that I don't have a definite answer to, they kind of stick with me until I find a good enough answer for them. Like, they like replay in my mind. And I never come up with an answer right away. It stays for like months. And the one thing that's like stayed with me is you asking me, what's the quote that I live by? Or like a quote that's meant like a lot to me. And this is it.
You found your answer.
I found it.
Yes.
It's when people tell you who they are, believe them. I met a guy recently who told me, one of the things he said to me is, no, I'm just a pig sometimes. I'm just a pig in relationships. But I thought he was a really nice guy.
Mm.
And then I soon discovered that he wasn't. And I was like, when someone tells you who they are, believe them.
He was right.
He wasn't wrong. And I can't blame him for that because he was right.
Yeah. That's true, dude. Because a lot of the time, people, the things that they'll say about themselves, like if I'm telling
It's very
you,
revealing.
it's revealing, dude. And like, because you live with yourself and, you know, you just say it like, yeah, that's just how I am.
Mm.
And
I think it's important to like ask people questions, obviously, when they say like I say that when they say something like that, like, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by
Because they can view themselves as whatever, but they can view themselves through like a critical lens or whatever. So that doesn't mean they're a bad person or whatever. But I think it's important to say, why do you believe that? And listen to that explanation. And if that doesn't align with your moral values and your view, then you know.
that? Yeah,
Believe
exactly.
it.
And people like to talk about themselves, and it's very revealing, like you said.
Yeah, so ask them questions, especially when you first meet someone.
Okay, I like this one, but I need to think of an answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'll ask you so long so you can think. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
I don't know.
Because I've been wanting to talk about like the concept of embarrassment for so long.
It's my least favorite emotion.
Why?
It's my least favorite emotion. I don't know. I should do shadow work because I don't know how to sit with it. I don't know what to do with it. What is an embarrassing moment in
My
your life?
problem is, well, not problem. I used to, I think, be sorry.
No.
I used to be like very scared of being embarrassed. And I think it's an anxiety thing, right? Mental illness in it. And then I just got over it. Like, it's fine. It's a human experience. It's whatever. But now my problem is when people ask me what's your most embarrassing story, I forget. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I also forget. Because kind
I-
of like you bury the memory. You don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Like now I can think about things that are embarrassing to me now. I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing when I was in school. But like when I was there, it wasn't embarrassing.
Yeah. I've just been wanting to talk about embarrassment because it is a weird
It's a weird concept.
concept and emotion.
But I should also say that things that used to embarrass me, I can't think about now because they don't embarrass me anymore. Like
Yes,
moments
that's the
that I used to be embarrassed in, I'm like, I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah, now you think
Like-
back and you're like, it's fine.
Yeah, I think like I've spoken about how much my mindset has changed from moving to a small town to moving here, but I also haven't spoken about like how much my viewpoint changed as like myself and what I used to look at as weird or embarrassing or something to be ashamed of or whatever. I now look at as like I look at it with acceptance. I'm like, yeah, this is just part of being me. This is just part of being a human. So I'm not very embarrassed of it.
Yeah,
I'm not embarrassed of a lot of things anymore.
me neither.
Like people will do things and be like, that's so embarrassing. But I'd be like,
It's not. It's the same as, can I tell you once, I was chilling with a friend and then they were obsessed with the concept of something being awkward. And they would always be like, oh my God, so awkward. Oh my God, awkward. You just said that, that's awkward. And then
yeah.
I, like, one day just told them, like, you know, things aren't awkward until you make them awkward.
Yeah.
And that shook them. And I know that till this day they still think about it. And I'm like, think about it, babe.
Like I'm not very embarrassed of a lot of things anymore. Like I can do things like so one thing that I can think of off the top of my head is I was greeting a girl the other day, but my glasses were on my head and I was taking my handbag off and it hit my glasses fell down over my eyes. And then I just picked them up and put them back on my head and kept talking to her. And then afterwards my friend was like, oh, that was so embarrassing. I'm like, I didn't even give it another thought. Like, yeah, glasses fall. You pick them up, you talk further. Like, it's not a thing. It's not embarrassing anymore.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of the time we're almost conditioned to like think small things like that are a huge deal. And like, it's so embarrassing and you must always be put together and always be prim and proper. And like, no, like it's, I think
I don't care. But if I was in school, I would have cared probably.
I have like something I want to say. I have like half a thought. I need to finish processing it. What I'm saying is, I feel like things that I do, like if it's something that I'm just clumsy, that's not embarrassing to me. But if it's something that's out of my control, that happens. That's when it feels embarrassing.
I guess.
Like the one time, you know what happened once? I was in school.
Just the fact that you're laughing about telling the story is telling me it's gonna be good.
No, because what the fuck, actually? I had this friend, right? who is like really cute, and I was like kind of into him. Anyways, so now I used to get to school very early. Like I would cry if I'm not half an hour early for school. Anyways, so now I got there early, and that day he was also early. Then he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I'm upstairs. Come like chat." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go talk to this person." Now I'm walking up the stairs, but I'm rushing, and then my foot hits the top of the stair, and then sequentially my next foot hits the top of the next step, and this was halfway on the staircase.
Just keep going.
I just keep hitting the top of the thing, and I'm like,
He's looking at you.
he's on the corner. I get to the top, and now my last foot, the steps have like a little lip. So now my shoe gets stuck under the lip, and I literally just collapse, and I'm like, both my hands are on the floor. I'm like looking up, like, "Good morning." So
That's embarrassing.
that's
for sure.
embarrassing
Yes,
because
that's
it's out of my control. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's embarrassing, but like it's funny embarrassing. Like you're not
Yeah.
looking back at it and you're ashamed.
you know what the thing is? I think you must be able to laugh at yourself.
I think, but I also think like sometimes stupid things make us embarrassed. And like, okay, here's what I think. Embarrassment can be embarrassment with like a little bit of humiliation and then afterwards funny, or it can be embarrassment with an undertone of being ashamed. And I think when it has shame as an undertone is when I hate it.
Yeah,
Because
it's almost like
it's like when you were in school and you were taught like so much shame about your period or whatever, and now someone saw like a period product that you had, and that would made you feel like so embarrassed.
it's like feeling less than. Like,
Yeah, but like I hate that feeling because like I'm like shame. Most of the time, if you think about shame, it's like it doesn't really have a good foundation. Like
yeah,
shame around periods is not really necessary. It's why is it there? But if you're taught it and you're living in it, like you can't escape it.
That's
easily.
the thing. I think that's why a lot of things are not embarrassing to us anymore, because we've gotten over that
We've
stage
destigmatized it.
of shame. Like, I'm not ashamed of who I am, of what I experience.
No, but here is something that I just thought that was embarrassing, but like in the moment, but it's funny.
Yes.
I was talking to a client. I wanted to say something. I wanted to say like, good luck and all right, and I said, great. It was the last thing that I said to him, and I walked away. And I was like, what did I just say to this man? And I know he was confused. I know he was like, what did this girl just say to me?
Dude, like the time no one will beat my mom when she phoned one of my friends and it was her birthday.
Oh, yeah. I remember the story.
No, it wasn't her. She would phone my friend for some random
For
thing.
Christmas.
Then the girl goes, "Merry Christmas, Auntie Nelly," and my mom goes, "Thanks, happy birthday to you and your family."
The story cracks me up because I can just I can hear your mom say and your mom is so funny, dude. I can't.
Happy birthday to you and your family.
Oh my god.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That I think is so funny.
Yes.
That's like embarrassing, but it's so funny.
But
dude.
it's so funny.
That's
dude.
what I mean. Like when it has fun, it's at the undertone.
That's the thing.
But something that I can say about embarrassment is sometimes I think other people should be more embarrassed.
Some people are not embarrassed enough.
Especially men, dude. I get embarrassed.
Dude, the
Can I
second
tell
hand
you?
embarrassment.
This is something that's very rude, and I'm sorry, but men that get angry and are animated about it is so funny to me
Yes.
and so embarrassing.
Yes.
If a man is like, I'm so angry. Oh, I
Now they
can't.
must punch a wall. Now they must slouch and like, Gertie.
Or if they're like walking all angry, like to me, it just looks like you're trying to act like a cartoon, and I think it's
Yeah.
so embarrassing.
It's ridiculous.
It's funny. It's really funny. And yeah,
I agree with that.
so sometimes I think men especially should be more embarrassed of things that they do, but that's
We said
my
what we
2
said.
cents. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. This is also another reason if you're going to do these questions with someone you don't know, that you fall in love with them, because they ask you things like halfway through, they'll say, share something with your partner that you already like about them. And it's like kind of boosting the other person's ego. Like, oh, this new person that I just met loves me in this way.
Yes,
It's like a human trait too.
Yes. It's like, yeah, they're
It's like validation.
yes. And after one of those questions, it goes, say 3 we statements. Like, we're both in this room, we're both whatever.
So it makes us feel connected.
Yes.
It's very psychological.
Yeah.
Very manipulative, but like in a nice way.
In a nice way.
If you're a person who likes falling in love, I personally like falling in love with everything. I gotta fall in love with someone or something like once a week. So if you're a person who likes doing that, like, go with a friend that you don't really know so well yet or something.
Yeah.
And go ask them questions. Okay. This one is deep, but not that deep. Like, I think we can talk about it without making it deep. Do you have a hunch about how you will die?
No. I don't.
You have no thought.
Brain empty.
No windows.
No thoughts. I don't like thinking about it. Like,
Still.
hey?
Death is still is it still like, you know, one time we talked about it.
Yeah, we spoke about, like, a few years ago, hated the thought of death, and I would never talk about it, and
So
it
did
was
I.
so scary to me. I've made peace with it. Like, I'm fine with it. Whatever. But I don't want to ponder about, like, how it would go. I think, you know what happened? We said we're not going to get deep. Well, it's not deep. Whatever. Fuck it.
About it.
In 2020, I went through a hectic depressive episode. And then that's when I came to terms with death, because I was like, you know what? I could be the cause of my own death literally any day now. Like, it is what it is. So having those thoughts, like, so regularly in my mind just made it like, it's fine. It's natural. It's part of life. Like, it is what it is. But I don't have a hunch of, like, I think this might happen.
It sounds very wrong or like depressing when it's said, but I think some people can understand what I'm saying without taking it as like a warning sign. That like at some point in your life, between I would say like being a teenager and somewhere in adulthood, there's a point where death becomes less scary and ominous and more welcoming.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a good point to be at. Like, I was also very scared of death. And I used to always think that I was going to die in a car accident. Like, I was just so convinced that one day I would drive. And, like, it would give me extreme anxiety on the road, because I would be driving and just thinking, like, I'm just going to get into a car crash now. And I'm just going to die. And I would, like, I'd be, like, driving on a quiet road and see, like, oh, someone's going to smash into me now. I'm going to lose control of my car. I'm going to crash into this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's lessened. It's still there sometimes. The one time I told you about this, I was on the highway driving in like really like peak traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic, and I was in the fast lane going 120, but we're very close to each other. Like the car behind me is also going 120, but we're close. We're all very close to each other, and I can't swerve into this lane. And I'm like, I got like an intrusive thought saying like, pull the steering wheel. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then the person in front of me pulled their steering wheel.
Oh yeah.
Massive crash, and I had to like swerve. Luckily, the people that were next to me, the one guy drove faster so I could like go over, and the bumper of the car went like, as I crossed lanes, it went like right underneath my car in the middle. It was like an insane moment. And like in that moment I just realized it doesn't matter if I think crash is gonna happen in this way or whatever, because in the moment, like, there's no thought in your brain that's like, and now you're going to swerve, because that's what your brain said. Like, you're just
instinct.
Yeah, it's just reaction. So like, just reflect.
Yeah.
What is it called? Reflexes.
Reflexes. Yes. Just reflect. Go journal about it.
It's like my life flashing before my eyes. Oh, I'm just reflecting.
Just can this moment hold on quickly. I need to just think.
But I think like,
dude, those intrusive thoughts are so fucked.
So annoying.
Luckily, I don't get them as much anymore, but they do come a lot, especially when you're driving, and especially at night for me. Like whenever I'm driving home from work, I'm like literally just like focus on the road, focus on the road. Then I'm like,
then you're focusing on Same. Why does that happen so many times?
Literally, or there'll be a truck coming and I'm like, let's go. I'm like, don't go.
Dude, when I drive long roads, this happens so many times, especially when I drove back home to Clarkson, because there's like a lot of trucks on that road.
Yeah.
And like for kilometers and kilometers, it's single lanes.
Yeah.
So like, then I always think like, what if I just swerve? Then, or what if I just lose control? Then like what? Or I had a cousin who...
Then what?
And it's
over,
exciting. Then what's gonna happen? It's my anticipation again.
Yeah.
Anticipating the moment.
Yeah,
No.
dude. No, it's...
But also, I'm scared. I'm scared that one day I'm like deep in thought and my brain's like, what if you just swerve? And like in thought, I just do it. And I'm like, I don't mean to do that.
No, you won't. Intrusive thoughts are not real, dude.
Is that healthy? I don't know.
No, it's anxiety, dude.
Yeah.
It is. It's mental illness.
But I read about this actually. Can I say it?
Yes.
Because apparently it's a thing that gets heightened when people have babies, when people have kids. Then when they have like a newborn, a lot of people have like weird intrusive thoughts about it. Like, what if I drop my baby? What if I accidentally kill my baby? Whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I only recently found out that that's like a normal thing and like a thing that happens and that people judge themselves very harshly for, because obviously you don't want to go and admit that your brain has told you like you might kill your baby. But actually it's a natural process, because what your brain is doing is imagining the worst of the worst of the worst, and you allowing the thoughts and saying, okay, and then what? Then my baby's dead. Then I have to call the ambulance, call the police.
Trying to get a game plan,
like
basically.
Like,
Well,
not even a game plan, like play out the realistic scenario.
Or play out the
when you
realistic,
play
yeah.
out the scenario to yourself, then your brain can like file it away. But if you keep like pushing the intrusive thought out, your brain can't actually process it and file it and put it somewhere, so it's going to keep coming up. So when you're like, what if I swerve right now and I just go into this truck? You're like, okay, and then what then? Then the truck driver is going to go to jail or get a case of manslaughter against him. I'm probably going to be dead. My parents are going to be crying. How are they going to find my car? Like, just play out the scenario.
Yeah. It's the same with intrusive thoughts that are like, not something that you control, but like, I don't know. Now they're going to break into my house, or someone is in my house or whatever. That's when I'm saying, like, you think of a game plan. Because you think, okay, if someone is here, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb out the window, I'm going to go
I'm going to press the panic button, I'm going to phone. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's when you need like a game plan for it. Yeah.
What is the question? Oh, a hunch about how you're going to die. Yeah, dude, so I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know, and I don't care, to be honest. Like,
is there a way that you would prefer? Like, if you could pick right now, you're gonna die at some point, you don't know when. Is there a way that you prefer to die?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't want to say like peacefully in my sleep, because then every time I go sleep, I'm like, is today the day?
It's not gonna happen, babe. Like, the universe isn't here. Like, okay,
she's
add
like
it to the list.
Making notes. No, I don't know. I don't have a preference.
I think I would want to die like peacefully, but not be aware, or if I'm aware, not too long in advance. Like, I don't want to stretch out the moment, because here's why. When I had my wisdom teeth removed, I was there in the theater. They put the anesthesia on me, and I was waiting for the moment that I was going to fall asleep, because I was anxious about falling asleep. And then I'm like, they're like, okay, it's going to happen now. So I'm like, okay, bye.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. I literally said, okay, bye. Nothing's happening. Don't hurt me too much. And then I remember like closing my eyes and like
you're like sleep now.
It's almost like you're willing it to happen. Okay, anesthesia, come now. Like, I don't want that to be death. I don't want to like, goodbye, my love.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I can feel it. Let's go.
I just want it to be like fast. But I would like for it to happen after I have just had a really nice day. Like, a day with like my friends that I really enjoyed, and I was like laughing with everyone, and we did like a really fun activity, whether that's like whatever, a hike or like a brunch or anything. We were all together. It was like really fun. It was just good vibes. It was like filled with like laughter, and like by the end of it you were like so tired and can't wait to go home or whatever. And then if I die in like a car crash then, or like in my sleep or whatever it is, like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you didn't have a crappy day, now you're dead. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah, I see that. That's fine.
But also that's like dying on a high note. So like, I don't know if that's just like.
I don't know, dude. This is why like death is just so weird. Like I don't want to think about it too much. Like I'm okay with it, but I'm just like meh.
You don't want to
Why must I fixate on it? Like I have so many other things to think about. And it's something I can't really control necessarily, so
yeah.
That's like a big thing that I live my life by a lot. Like if you can't control it, like it's literally not my problem. Like whatever, let it be.
But I understand that, and I'm very calm about my own death, but other people's deaths freak me out a lot. Especially children or like babies, people who lose babies. It's not really, especially with kids, it's not really about the person that's dead. It's about like the parents.
The parents,
like, I grieve with grieving parents, and I don't want kids, so it's like fucked. But like it is so sad to me.
I don't know, like let's say the past year, any news that I've heard of someone passing away, I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Because in my mind, I'm just like, and I hate this phrase, but like it was their time. Like it is what it is.
That's the thing that I used to hate the most. When people said to me, when my dad died, when people said like, it is what it is. Or if people said, everything happens for a reason.
No, I understand those phrases are so stupid and annoying, but like that's just my feelings on it. Like I'll never say that to someone. No, yeah. But that's just how I feel about it. Like
no, I'm not saying it's wrong. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's out of everyone's control.
I feel like I take so long to process it. When it's like an older person, I don't know. Like my dad was young, I guess. He was like 49, but like he's older. But when it's like a young person that's like my age or something, I don't know. I'm fine with death, but I'm like, were they?
Hectic. Well, they have to be now.
Yeah, that's what I'm like,
It's over.
It's really hectic.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Let's end on something less intense.
Yeah, let's do one more. Anyways, because remember, we're cutting out like hella silences and we're only on 55 minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the question that I hate just because I want to hear your take on it.
No, I don't know about that.
It's the dinner guest one. Who would you want as a dinner guest? Can we just talk about the question itself? Like, why do people ask this question? It's stupid, in my opinion. Second of all, I don't get it.
My issue with this question is people say stuff like, I would like to go to dinner with Elon Musk because he's going to teach me some things and I'm going to know how to invest or whatever afterwards. What gives you the idea that Elon Musk is going to sit opposite you and go, this is the person I want to give all my knowledge to?
That's the thing. You just assume that
person's going to tell you something that you want to know.
In that dinner party, they're at your will. Like you tell them, you're going to talk to me about this and this and this, and you're going to tell me exactly how you did it, and they're going to just comply. Like,
now imagine someone else says your name and they say, oh, I'm going to have dinner with Jessica because Jessica is going to tell me whatever. No, I'm not. I'm not going to tell you. If I won't tell you like now here while I'm conscious, I'm not going to tell you when I'm your dinner guest because you forced me.
Yeah, I think maybe we should look at it in the sense of like, I would like to have this person as my dinner guest because they're just a cool person and someone like their presence will be so cool.
But who's so cool that you just want to eat with him?
I don't know. Harry Styles?
Personally, I don't want to eat with Harry Styles.
I would love to eat with Harry Styles.
Can I tell you why? It's because, I know who, I think I might know who, but...
Ariana Grande.
No, but I think like...
These are my people?
No, yeah. But I wouldn't want to because Marius has this thing that he says, and I actually think it's quite true. He says, like, these people that you think are so cool and whatever, right? They're cool until you meet them. Then they're no longer, like, this legendary, like, faraway thing that's, like, so cool and impenetrable.
But that's the thing. Like, I get that. I get that. Like, because people idolize celebrities, right? But for me, it's like, I want to
be friends with
the human of this person.
There's so many people that I feel that way about.
You know what
I'm saying? But
it's
not people like Harry Styles or whatever. I don't know. There are people like I would have loved to have Mac Miller as like not because I think he could literally not say one word to me that whole time. Exactly. I think it's the coolest thing to just have him there. Like, he's just a cool guy.
But that's how I feel.
Someone that I would want to have as like a friend. I feel this way about people that I shouldn't, like people that you're not supposed to have relationships with, like lecturers or clients. I'm like, Man, it would be so cool to just like be their friend.
To talk to this person,
Like show
even
up to
though
their house and see what's in their fridge.
it's not necessarily appropriate for me to be in their personal space.
It definitely is not appropriate for me to be friends with my lecturer, but I'm like, man, I just want to be. Like, can you imagine one of your lecturers, you know exactly who I'm talking about, like telling you about his day? Or like coming to you and like complaining, like, this other fucking lecturer was just such a bitch. Like,
Tell me, babe. I want to hear your tea.
or like
Yeah.
like them coming to you saying, yo, this morning I had a shower and I had this epiphany. And like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, can you imagine having that relationship with them?
Yeah, that would be great.
So like, I don't know about dinner guests because I don't necessarily want to sit like at like a dinner table with them. But like, if I could like go over to their house and like have a chilled coffee with them that they made me at their house, that's something that I would want to do.
Yeah, back to the stupid question. My other issue with it is when people are like, Nelson Mandela. And then what, babe?
What? You're gonna sit across Nelson Mandela and say what to him? Explain to me now what you're gonna
First of
tell
all,
Nelson Mandela.
You're a grade 3 art teacher. Like, what
Yo,
are you
what
gonna
the-
have in common with Nelson fucking Mandela, babe?
Like, it's almost like you know that, like, your dinner guest, Nelson Mandela, is gonna have a horrible time meeting you, but you just so badly want to do it. Is there any question that you've wanted to ask me? Or that you've never asked me? Is there any one moment that you'd like to relive? Not change necessarily, just relive.
Many. I think I would like to relive every show that we've performed. Or like opening night of like the show that we directed. I'd love to relive those days. I'd also love to relive the day I met Amir, because I think it would be so funny
Yeah.
and like interesting to see, like knowing now how things ended up, you know. And I'd also like to relive, there was one more, I forgot.
Yeah. I would like to relive those memories that I'm like nostalgic about. Like saying goodbye to my cousin. Or the last day I was ever like happy in school. Or because I don't even know what that day was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to relive trips also of going to see my family.
Or yeah, like you said, like opening nights. Like I would like to relive moments in school that I was on stage, because that was like the first time that I fell in love with drama. And like I can't even remember what about those moments were actually like so special. So like reliving them would be sick.
Yeah.
But also random things like I've said, like I fall in love with everyone, and like reliving those little moments.
Just
of,
little
like,
moments. It doesn't always have to be a big thing.
No, it's the smallest things. Like there's this one memory I have of this girl that I no longer know. And we were drinking coffee, and the way she like picked up her coffee and the wind blew her hair, and she smelled like so good in that moment. And it was just like a platonic like moment. I was like, she is so beautiful as like my friend. Like she's such a cool friend. And like,
and this is such a cool moment.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? And I thought about this last week, and then I haven't started doing it, but I'm gonna do it because this was the coolest thing that I've ever done in my life. I think it was like in grade 9 or something, probably, when I first started experiencing mental illness. And I was like, you know what? Every day feels the same. Every year has gone by, and I can't really remember
When you like write down stuff.
good moments and like what the fuck happened, you know? So I would not every single day, but let's say a few times a week, anything that like just made me smile or like good times in a day, I would literally just write and put it in a jar, and then at the end of the year I would go through them.
You would read it, and then you like remember all these random moments.
Dude, I love that.
I had a memory box in school that like it's such a cliche thing, but it's actually really cool.
It's so cool.
I would like put random stuff in there, like McDonald's slips or tickets to a show, or I put 3D movie glasses in there and stuff. And I did it for like a couple of years in this one box. And then when I went back to the box, even now, I'm pretty sure if I go back to it, I would still like remember.
You would remember the things that happened, and like it's so freaking. You know what I would relive also? I had a friend in primary school, and we were obsessed. She showed me Twilight. and what it is and whatever. And
Oh.
she borrowed me her books and stuff. I would like to relive us going. We went to the theater. We snuck into the Eclipse cinema. And we watched it twice. We paid for one ticket, but
And
then
you
we
watched it
snuck back
two
in and we
times?
watched it twice. I would love that day because it's just like, I'm a teenager, I'm a rebel.
Yeah.
I can do what I want.
But there are also movies that I would like to rewatch for the first time ever.
Mhm.
Like Midsommar. I would love to rewatch Midsommar for the first
For the
time
first
ever.
time with those emotions that you felt that first time.
Yeah.
And if I could go back and change something, I would go back to like just people that have fucked me up and I didn't do anything about it. You know, the one time, back again with Twilight. So my friend borrowed me the Twilight books and I was reading them, but then I wanted my own copy. And my mom went and she bought me the limited edition with the white cover and the red apple. It was so pretty. And I was reading it at school and I dropped the book and this guy that was in my class stepped on it and literally ripped it. He was like, this is such a stupid book. And then he walked away and I was like,
You're joking!
yeah, dude. And
I didn't think that happened in real life.
that's the first time I've ever been like bullied, I guess. And
Yo,
I
that
was
is rude.
so shocked. He literally stepped all over my book and I had to sellotape it back together.
You just...
So, and in that moment, I was so shook that I didn't know what to do. Like, usually, and especially in primary school, I was rough, dude. Like, I had physical fights with people. But in this moment, I was, and he was a fucking skinny short boy. I would have fucking killed him. So, if I could go back,
I would have kicked his ass.
it's been years, but like that's something that stuck with me, and I'm just like, fuck this person. And the thing is, he sat next to me in like a lot of my classes, so I thought we were chilled. So I don't know where that came from. Also,
It was also just teenage angst, but
Yeah.
that doesn't defend his action against you.
yeah,
But
I'd love to kick his ass.
yes,
Yes.
you've ignited a memory in me,
What
and it's
happened?
something that's embarrassing, but it's not embarrassing.
Mm.
I think about it too, and I'm like, why don't I go back and I just... Okay, that's what
Yes.
happened. I'm gonna say your name. Haiti for fish, this guy.
Oh.
That was so cool in my primary school. I was not cool in primary school. I was ugly. I was real fucking ugly. But that doesn't give him the right to do this. So this is what happened. I was at home chilling with my dad. My dad, one thing about that man is he loved ice cream. Like the one time, no, but like his side of the family loved ice cream. The one time we had Christmas at my grandparents, and then my Oma bought 10 liters of ice cream, 2 tubs of 5 liters each. We went to sleep the 23rd and woke up the next morning to 2 empty tubs of ice cream because my dad and my Opa stayed up the whole night and ate all of the ice cream.
All of it.
So like, ice cream was a big thing. Cool. We were at home. The ice cream truck came by. I was grade 5, maybe grade 6. And I wanted ice cream. My dad wanted ice cream. So I ran outside and I was just too late. It had passed. So we got in the car because we were going to go to the spa anyway. Drove to the ice cream truck. I got out. I ran. I was like barefoot in a small town. Ran up the cul-de-sac. Got us 2 ice creams. Got in the car. Went to the spa. My dad sent me into the spa with the ice cream. It's a small town. I go into the spa. And as I walk up, here's Henty in front of me. And turns out his house was in that cul-de-sac. And he had left just at the same time that we had left. And he's inside the spa looking at me and going, how stupid of you to run behind an ice cream truck. You must be so childish.
Excuse me?
And I still think about it because I just want to tell you, that was a good moment in my life. That ice cream was great. And I'm so sorry that your childhood was robbed of you. That you felt you had to bring someone else down because they had a joyful moment in their life. I'm so sorry for you. I feel bad for you that
Tell
happened.
him. That's sad, dude, that he would say something like that.
Yeah, and I'm still not cool with him.
No.
Like, I went to high school with him after that. I'm still not cool with
Oh,
him.
no. Fuck that.
I'm not sure if he was in the same high school I was or he was in the same town, but like I remember like I was never cool with that guy.
No ways.
And I still sometimes see like people with like his surname and I'm like, I'm like,
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
because it was I was happy up until that point, and then when he said that to me, I remember like I just immediately felt like sad.
Like,
and I was like, now I don't want this ice cream anymore.
I'm having a perfectly fine day. Why did you have to ruin it?
Yeah, and it was like a good moment. Like my dad like raced up to the ice cream truck so I could get out and buy us these ice creams, and then I was like halfway through it, and I remember like I felt so disgusted by it, and it's all because of you. So
Yeah. When they figure out time travel, we're going to go back and kick these people out.
no, we're gonna keep it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us for another week. Let us know your embarrassing moments.
Or any other question
Or
that
any
you
other
think is
question.
interesting.
Let us know if you enjoyed this vibe. Do you like it when we're more relaxed? Falling asleep.
And also if you have questions for us, ask us so we
Yeah.
can answer them so that you can get your answers.
Yes, we're back here every week.
Yes. See you next week.
See you next week.
Namaste.